Since the election of Donald Trump, global trade tensions have escalated dramatically. Even before his inauguration, Trump made imposing tariffs and import duties a cornerstone of his economic policy, targeting both traditional U.S. allies, like the European Union, Canada, Mexico, and Japan, and rival nations like China. His proposed measures included tariffs as high as 60% on Chinese imports, aimed at reducing the U.S. trade deficit and challenging China's dominant role in global trade. Beyond this, Trump issued stark warnings to BRICS nations, threatening tariffs of up to 100% if they proceeded with plans to introduce a new currency designed to diminish the U.S. dollar's supremacy in international trade. In retaliation, China has quietly escalated its countermeasures, actions largely overlooked by mainstream media. These measures include banning exports of rare earth elements, critical materials used in technology and defense manufacturing, to the United States. Additionally, China reduced its oil imports from the U.S., targeting a key aspect of bilateral trade, and introduced tariffs exceeding 74.9% on certain American goods, significantly raising the stakes in the ongoing trade conflict. The scope of these tariffs has expanded to include imports from the European Union, Japan, and Taiwan, reflecting China's broader strategic pushback against perceived economic aggression. This analysis delves into the details of these retaliatory actions and examines their potential consequences, exploring the background of these developments and their far-reaching implications for the global economy, including the specific impacts on the U.S., EU, and other major players. The catalyst for these escalating tensions began with tariff measures imposed by the U.S., EU, Japan, and Taiwan on China. In May 2024, the Biden administration unveiled substantial tariff increases on a range of Chinese imports to counteract perceived unfair trade practices. Key measures include electric vehicles. Tariffs on Chinese-manufactured EVs were raised from 25% to 100%, bringing total duties to 112.5%. This move is intended to protect the U.S. automotive industry from subsidized Chinese competition. Lithium-ion EV batteries. Tariffs increased from 7.5% to 25%, targeting essential components of electric vehicles. Computer chips. Tariffs on semiconductors were set to rise from 25% to 50% by 2025, addressing concerns over China's dominance in the tech supply chain. Medical products. Tariffs on syringes and needles were slated to increase from 0% to 50% in 2024, while certain personal protective equipment, including some respirators and face masks, would see tariffs rise from 0% to 25%. These measures, affecting approximately $18 billion worth of Chinese imports, reflect the U.S. strategy to bolster domestic industries and reduce reliance on Chinese manufacturing. The European Union has also taken decisive action. As of October 31, 2024, the EU imposed tariffs ranging from 7.8% to 35.3% on Chinese electric vehicles, in addition to the standard 10% car import duty, effectively raising the maximum tariff to 45.3%. This decision followed an investigation into perceived unfair trade practices by China. Subsidies provided to Chinese EV manufacturers, which the EU determined were causing economic harm to European producers, prompted retaliatory measures. The EU imposed anti-dumping tariffs on imports of the sweetener A3 from China, with duties ranging from 34.4% to 233.356% until June 16, 2025. This action aims to protect the EU's industry from unfairly low-priced Chinese imports. These measures underscore the EU's commitment to safeguarding its industries against subsidized competition and maintaining fair trade practices. While specific tariff implementations by Japan and Taiwan are less pronounced, both nations have engaged in broader economic policy shifts to counter China's growing economic influence. Japan has been strengthening its industrial policies and supply chain resilience, particularly in sectors like semiconductors and critical minerals, to reduce dependence on Chinese imports. Taiwan continues to play a pivotal role in the global technology supply chain, notably in semiconductor manufacturing, and is seeking to diversify its economic partnerships to mitigate risks associated with China's economic policies. These escalating trade measures highlight the intensifying competition among major global economies in key industrial and technological sectors. The interplay of tariffs and policy adjustments reflects a complex landscape where nations strive to protect their economic interests while navigating the challenges of globalization and interdependence. China has announced the imposition of provisional anti-dumping tariffs on imports of polyacetal copolymers, a specialized industrial plastic, from the United States, European Union, Japan, and Taiwan. These tariffs are part of ongoing trade measures to protect Chinese domestic industries amid increasing global trade tensions. The United States faces the steepest tariffs, ranging from 57.2% to 74.9%, reflecting China's assessment that American companies are engaging in significant dumping practices. This makes it highly challenging for U.S. exporters to remain competitive in the Chinese market. Major U.S. players such as DuPont and Celanese Corporation, which are leaders in the production of polyacetal copolymers, will be heavily affected. These companies have traditionally supplied high-performance materials for key industries, including automotive and consumer electronics manufacturing in China. The imposition of such high tariffs is likely to drive U.S. exporters out of the Chinese market, forcing Chinese importers to look for alternative suppliers or rely more heavily on domestic production. This decision also aligns with the broader trade tensions between China and the U.S., which have seen both sides imposing tariffs on key industrial goods. European Union exporters will face a uniform tariff rate of 42%, a significant hurdle but not as prohibitive as the rates applied to U.S. companies. This suggests that while evidence of dumping by EU firms was found, the overall impact on the Chinese market was assessed to be less severe compared to American exporters. Leading European producers such as BASF and Ticona GmbH, a subsidiary of Celanese, are major suppliers of polyacetal copolymers to China. These companies cater to industries requiring high-performance materials, such as precision manufacturing for automotive and industrial machinery. The 42% tariff will substantially raise costs for EU exporters, reducing their competitiveness in the Chinese market. The new tariffs on polyacetal, POM copolymers imported into China are impacting various regions differently. For U.S. exporters, the highest tariff rate of 48.5% reflects concerns about potential dumping and market dominance. Despite offering high-quality products, U.S. firms may find their opportunities limited to specific high-value market segments. Japanese exporters face a slightly lower, but still substantial tariff rate of 43.7% due to their competitive pricing and significant presence in the Chinese market. Japan's proximity and strong trade ties with China have historically made it a major supplier of engineering plastics, with companies like Mitsubishi Engineering Plastics and Polyplastics Company Limited playing key roles. The tariffs are expected to disrupt these established supply chains, particularly in the automotive sector, where Japanese materials are widely used for components like gears and fuel system parts. However, Japanese firms' focus on innovation and specialized applications may allow them to retain some market share. Taiwanese exporters face the lowest tariff rate at 32.6%, suggesting less concern from the Chinese government regarding aggressive pricing or market penetration. Taiwan has a strong petrochemical and plastics industry, with companies like Formosa Plastics Group and Changchun Plastics Company Limited producing POM copolymers for various applications, including electronics and industrial machinery. While the tariff will increase costs, the lower rate may allow Taiwanese exporters to maintain some market share, especially for niche applications or price-sensitive buyers. Polyacetal copolymers, also known as polyoxymethylene (POM), are high-performance engineering thermoplastics known for their strength, rigidity, and thermal resistance. These properties make POM a suitable replacement for metals like copper, aluminum, and zinc in various industries. In the automotive sector, POM's low friction, wear resistance, and dimensional stability make it ideal for components like gears, bearings, and fuel system parts. Its resistance to fuels and lubricants further enhances its suitability for under-the-hood applications. In the electronics industry, POM's electrical insulating properties and dimensional stability are valuable for connectors, switches, and housings. Its low moisture absorption ensures consistent performance in humid environments. In medical technology, POM's strength, stiffness, toughness, and lubricity over a wide temperature range make it suitable for mission-critical components. And chemical environments, its low extractable and high purity characteristics, along with FDA compliance being animal and latex-free, make acetal copolymers excellent candidates for medical applications such as dry powder inhalers, insulin syringes, and electric toothbrushes. POM's combination of mechanical strength, low friction, and chemical resistance makes it suitable for industrial applications requiring durable and reliable materials. It's employed in the production of pump components, valve parts, and conveyor belts, where consistent performance under mechanical stress is crucial. The material's ability to withstand exposure to various chemicals without degrading ensures longevity and reduces maintenance needs in industrial machinery. Let's take a quick pause. If you've enjoyed the video so far, could we ask a small favor? Hitting the like button helps us reach a broader audience, and sharing your thoughts or feedback in the comments makes an even bigger impact. Thank you for watching. Now let's dive back in. Trade impact. China's recent imposition of provisional anti-dumping duties on polyacetal copolymers, with rates ranging from 3.8% to 74.9%, is set to significantly reshape the country's market for these materials. Between January and November 2024, China imported approximately $3 billion, about $49 million worth of polyacetal copolymers from the United States, Japan, Taiwan, and Germany, underscoring its reliance on foreign suppliers for this critical material. The introduction of these tariffs will likely prompt substantial changes in supply chain dynamics. Industries reliant on polyacetal copolymers, such as automotive, electronics, and medical equipment manufacturing, may need to diversify their sourcing strategies. Businesses might explore alternative suppliers from countries not subject to the tariffs or increase investments in local production facilities. By fostering domestic manufacturing capabilities, China aims to reduce dependency on foreign imports, particularly from nations heavily impacted by the new duties. However, the tariffs are expected to raise the cost of imported polyacetal copolymers, potentially driving up prices for end products. Manufacturers will face heightened material costs, which may be passed on to consumers in sectors such as automotive and consumer electronics. This price adjustment could lead to ripple effects across various industries reliant on cost-effective engineering plastics. In addition to economic implications, the tariffs may strain trade relationships between China and the affected exporting countries. This development comes amid broader trade tensions, and the possibility of retaliatory measures or renegotiations remains high. Businesses operating within China will need to strategically adapt by diversifying their supply chains, investing in local production, and potentially redesigning products to reduce reliance on these materials. Overall, the imposition of these tariffs highlights China's intent to bolster domestic production while addressing concerns about foreign dumping. It also reflects the shifting dynamics of global trade, with long-term implications for international business and supply chain management. Rationale behind the tariffs. In May 2024, China's Ministry of Commerce initiated a 9-month anti-dumping investigation to examine whether imports of polyacetal copolymers were being sold at unfairly low prices, causing harm to domestic producers. The investigation concluded with preliminary findings that supported the imposition of tariffs to counteract what Beijing perceives as unfair trade practices. These measures reflect China's commitment to addressing trade imbalances and protecting its domestic industries from the adverse effects of foreign dumping. This decision is part of a broader strategy to strengthen domestic production capabilities and reduce dependency on foreign imports, especially in critical and high-demand sectors. By imposing tariffs, China aims to create a more favorable environment for local manufacturers, encouraging investment and innovation within its industrial base. The move also underscores the government's emphasis on economic self-reliance and its efforts to secure strategic materials for key industries such as automotive, electronics, and medical equipment. This policy direction aligns with China's overarching goals to enhance its industrial competitiveness in a global landscape characterized by increasing trade tensions.